Ever sign up for a phone plan thinking, wow, great price. And then a few months later, it's like, surprise, Maul, your bill is way higher than they said.
With Boost Mobile, you pay $25 a month forever, Rory.
Forever,
That's
forever,
unlimited
forever,
talk, text, and data starting at just $25 a month. No price hikes, no contract, forever.
Forever. Name that movie. Plus, Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. They've invested billions building 5G towers across the entire country.
Visit boostmobile.com or head to your local Boost store today and get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever.
Forever. 5G speeds not available in all areas. After 30 GB, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
No worrying now.
All right, Rory, we back for another episode of Rory and Maul Don't Know Ball.
The one I was excited the most about.
Yeah, this is one of the guests that we was looking forward to. Been wanting to talk with him for a while now. Been a big fan of this guy. So he's here today to kind of give us more of an insight on ball, Rory. We need all of our ball player friends.
Fuck this intro. I know we try to talk about sports on this. Let's get to the motherfucking mess.
We are joined.
What have you been doing on the timeline the last 48 hours? You start in trouble, man. Usually we try to talk about sports. Nah, what's going on, man?
What's up with this Ryan Clark RG3 thing, man? What's going on, man?
You up there with one of my favorite tweeters of all time.
Nah, I mean, to be honest, right? I'm not like a real like social media type of savvy dude like that. So I'll be noticing like you'll see players in the media or not in the media, and like if something going on, they can't wait to jump on it to get a reaction from people. Mm-hmm. The same dudes that like they'll say something, right? And then they're looking at the views and the likes every 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. I never was like that. I always just organic. If I see something I don't like, I speak on it. So when I watch these two dudes, I'm like, yo, y'all the same guy. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
One dude is probably a little more cornier than the other one, but it's the same conversation. Like, what we talking about?
It's the same conversation.
Maul, can you give our listeners some backstory of what is happening on the timeline? So we said fuck the intro. I want to get right to it.
So Ryan Clark, he was being outspoken about the whole RG3 take on the whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark situation. Mm-hmm. Right. A lot of people have turned it into something, it's like racial and things of that nature. So Ryan Clark had something to say to RG3, and LeSean had something to say to both of those gentlemen today. He tweeted. He didn't say no names, but he just kind of alluded to two guys that were having a back and forth.
And just respect to all parties, but how did RG3 and Ryan Clark start beefing about Angel Reese?
So RG3 is the type of dude, anytime there's something going on, like, I'm going to jump on and try to get some views out of it. There's a lot of people like that, bro. Y'all know people like that.
That's the nature now.
Right, so I think a lot of times when dudes don't really have no real, like, legacy or story to really talk about or who they are, they run to that type of stuff. And some of it works, so I'm not mad at it. Anyway, he's making like, okay, the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Now, everybody knows some tension there, obviously, right? And in all sports, you need a racial component to blow up the sport. Like, let's just be honest. Basketball the same way.
Magic and Bird was kind of that, yeah.
Come on, man.
Jackie Robinson, I think, was the...
Yeah.
But you look at, like, Caitlin Clark, I think she's a phenomenal player. And respectfully, I don't think that her and Angel Reese are on the same level basketball-wise, but Angel Reese, he holds her own, and she's good in her own right. Mm-hmm. I just think that, like, it is a race component. And when you look at the WNBA, like, there was better girls before Caitlin Clark, and there was better girls before Angel Reese. Mm-hmm. But when you have two elite girls in college, and they have the race component, it makes everybody watch. Now everybody's watching WNBA. Right. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he spoke on that, and he made it about all this other stuff, and RG3 gets crazy with it, like, he always brings his white wife and all this extra. It's uncomfortable a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Ryan, and the one thing that Ryan did do that I did respect is, he has a voice in the platform. So he likes to, speak up for the black women, which a lot of people don't. So I respect that part. Right or wrong, I respect that. We're going to protect our women, right? Because they want to make Angel Reese like this angry black girl and all that.
Right.
You know what that girl been through. She's from Baltimore, so I respect it.
Right.
But my thing is like...
she's not even angry.
But I'm saying that's the narrative they want to paint.
Yeah.
Well, my thing with the Ryan's like, yo, you bringing the dude's wife up in it? Like, what are we talking about? Because somebody else, if you mention a wife, you're not gonna do that with them.
Right.
RG3's kind of what he is, so you can really play that game with him.
Yeah.
And I also like he always trying to look for a way to like have attention. I remember way back in the day, we had the NBA, NFL lockout, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means we ain't playing no sports until we get an agreement with the owners and the players.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a video of him going to the Steelers facility and the doors is locked. I'm thinking like, what type of PR? What is that? I just don't like. It's just so corny to me. I can't even really.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody's different. I can't really, Yeah. You know how that is.
But I mean, I understand. I don't understand the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing. I think that obviously two women that came in together coming from college, they obviously elevated the sport as far as the national attention when they were in college. Right. Caitlin Clark, phenomenal player. What Angel Reese and LSU did was amazing, and now they kind of parlayed that over into the pro level. But I don't think the last thing that happened between them when Angel got a technical foul or Caitlin got a technical, whatever it was, Caitlin Clark didn't even foul her that hard. Like she swiped down at the ball. They trying to say she pushed her. She didn't push her. She swiped down. Now Angel Reese pushed her teammate first, and Caitlin Clark was telling the ref like, "Yo, you don't see that." And then Angel would have had a wide open layup, and Caitlin Clark just fouled her, swiped down at the ball, and fouled her. Now it's turned into something like it's
a regular foul.
It was a regular,
but also Angel Reese's response was a regular professional athlete reply as well. Yeah. Like everything was regular.
My thing is like, as an athlete, right? I can't tell. Y'all can't tell me. I can't tell her how you should feel somebody foul you a certain way.
Exactly.
And another thing is, now I don't even rock with you like that. You don't put. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like when something like we got to look at women like they are athletes too. So if it was the NBA, it won't be no issue.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So if she felt like she hit her or fouled her a certain way, I can't tell her she's wrong for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I can't say that.
So you think the white wife was the one behind all of this madness? I asked the question. Maul didn't.
Them dudes is laughing, but just looking at them like they both trying to fight for attention. So it's like they the same guy, just one dude's a little bit more extra. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I probably want to handle it like that. I want to brought his white wife into it. Like,
that was a little too much. Yeah, that was a little. But I think what Ryan was trying to say is like, he said it. He was like, you don't understand black women because you're married to a white woman or something like that. I think he said.
Yeah, I disagree with that because you got a white baby mama. Like what we.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
doesn't RG3 have
it's like
family
you
that
try so hard to
them?
get this. Another thing is these dudes don't really come from culture. So like you trying to get it so much that you just say anything. We're like, yo, you got a white baby mom. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just think that it's just all for clicks and, views.
That's what it is, bro. See what I'm saying? You know what it's for.
Yeah. A lot of that is definitely, it's performative stuff just to get people riled up. But
I mean, that happens to all of us in this space. We end up coming off hypocritical a lot of times because when we have that focus of like, let's try to get clicks or whatever, we contradict a bunch of shit that was already recorded and everyone knows about us. Because Ryan Clark, was Andrew Schultz the one that talked to Ryan Clark about hey, you've had women beat her on your show a bunch of times. Yeah. Why are you even getting in the mix on this? Like, this happens. This is not natural or normal that we have to think of every thought every day to record and put out. Because we're going to be caught in some type of hypocritical bullshit because we speak every fucking day.
Right.
So, I mean, I get it, but
I think if you being organic and just honest to who you is, I don't think you'll have that problem. And everything's in 100%. But like, if I believe everything I say and I'm doing everything from a genuine place, I don't think you can never be wrong.
I'm speaking in general, forgetting that the race of your baby mother is a little crazy, but I'm just speaking in general. How the fuck you forget you got a white baby mom?
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? I'm so cultured, but that's one thing that drives me crazy when dudes be doing all this black power. I'm for my people in the culture, but then the whole time you only date white girls. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't do all that. Just be normal.
Yeah. Just fall back when it comes to that type of conversation, just fade into the background a little bit.
Yeah, you run around, you like you Malcolm X and all that, but then the whole time you trying to like, come on, dog.
Thank God I don't touch white women. With that said, moving on to the next. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Where you at with this Joey Badass, Daylight, Ray Vaughn? Have you been paying attention to the battle at all?
No, I like Joey Badass though. I think he's talented. I don't get the whole Kendrick drink. That was like I ain't really get all that. Like he's trying to come at Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out like
why.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's shooting at what would be deemed the biggest rapper right now, especially after 2024. Like, you're not supposed to shoot at the best rapper. He's got to deal with the entire West Coast on his way there, but I think he's proved that Kendrick may need to come outside. He just ran through all his homies. Pause.
So you think, I'm let's get this straight. So, a rapper don't have no real resume. And I like Joey, though, so hear me out. I think he's a dope actor and he's a dope lyricist. I like rap.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays everything's mumbled and all catchy. I like rap, so I like him. But, like, I'm just thinking, like, if I'm Kendrick, like, there's something to gain from going against J. Cole, going against Drake. The people look at them as my peers, like, oh, we on the same level. Let me show y'all. But, like, you got to really earn that right. It's just like, I don't know who you think the best NFL player is, but, like, Patrick Mahomes ain't about to answer to every dude that could bring, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I agree with you, but how this whole thing played out, like where Kendrick, after the Drake battle, it was all West Coast, West Coast. Look what we did. We had the greatest year ever. We're all unified. It's West Coast. Joey said one bar about the West Coast, and all of every last rapper in LA started replying to Joey, and it became this West Coast unity shit, and he ran through everybody. So Kendrick needs to defend his coast.
No, he don't, bro. It's just like, yo, how do I, just hear me out. How do I go from destroying Drake we talking about, in the rap battle, now you want me to go give you, it just don't even, you know what I mean? Now I'm gonna go get Joey? We could disagree, I just don't,
I feel like if you smoked all my friends, I got to step in as the big homie and be like, all right, fine. I'll talk to him.
I think
he earned that right because he ran through everybody.
No, but LeSean is saying it's still, though, it's a certain, who did he run through? It's certain tiers.
There's like
if you
15
run through,
people from the West Coast
if I'm on the first tier and you run through all of the guys on the third and fourth tiers, you can't start yelling my name. Like,
after you have the fucking Super Bowl parade party, everything of winning the entire 2024 year, the West Coast is the greatest shit of all time, and one rapper runs through everybody that even said a name or word about him. Yeah, that warrants some type of reverence to me.
If you did a poll, right? I give you two things and I'm done with it. If you did a poll on like, yo, if you just ask, like, do people know Joey Badass as like a rapper, or like the cat that's on Kanan? Most people would, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if Kendrick, I'm on tour, I'm everywhere. You can't, like, I'm everywhere, bro. Like, it don't make sense. There's more to lose than gain. And the second thing is, I think like all the best rap battles, like Hov was going at Nas and giving real bars and songs. He gonna give Prodigy a bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just think about what I'm saying. Like, you ain't about to do all that to do that. Like,
but
that's backwards.
To that point, I feel like Hov, even if it was subliminally, replied to literally everybody. He was replying to PD Crack. He was replying to our former
at some point, Kendrick gonna respond. But it ain't gonna be a whole.
Act like the biggest rappers don't reply to everybody.
It's not gonna be a song tailored specifically for Joey. Yeah. But it's gonna be some bars in there where he's gonna address him. Like, yeah, I heard you calling my name, fam. Like, you know, like he's not gonna dedicate a whole moment to Joey Badass though. He's not gonna do that.
And I look, even like y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all got a good thing going on. You know what I mean? And imagine like a smaller podcast trying to call it. It's like, I ain't about to even think about it. Like, I'm gonna waste my time to dress somebody that's underneath us. Yeah. It just don't even really add up.
Some days you want to be petty though. Some days you want to be petty and address everybody though. Some days.
Oh, well,
but that's bad for business. You can't do that. You can't do that though. That's bad for business.
It's better for the community. Sometimes you have to humble people and let them know, like, I see you getting a little too big for your britch. Like, let me just put things in perspective for you.
Yeah.
And just give him half a bar.
Yeah.
And then leave.
So if he gave Joey what he want, right, and he answered back, now every guy that's trying to get up there was gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna answer to every guy that got my name in their mouth.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But
can't do that, bro.
I think in the beginning when Joey was trying to do it, I was on the same side as you. I just think he's proven himself this week that's warranted a different type of notice. A little bit more of attention instead of any guy just saying Kendrick name.
Who the biggest in your mind right now? Who, like, today? Who the biggest artists?
I still think the big three, Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, are still the three biggest rap artists.
So we had a whole beef in the rap. One of the best I like J. Cole, he tapped out. He said, this is not for me. I'm tapped. Then the other one, that's even the biggest one, I took down. Why would I? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, it's funny. We had this conversation a few weeks ago when I asked Mo, I said, did Kendrick put himself in a position that he never has to reply to anybody for the rest of his life?
Depending on what it is, though. Depending on what it is, I think.
But who else? There's no superstars on the horizon. So I think this current moment is the only thing Kendrick would have to reply to. Nobody behind us right now that we can see as of this moment is a rap superstar. I feel like that's kind of dead and gone right now.
Yeah, but I mean, but more if he earns my respect. Because there's some dudes that like got respect. They get, that you probably would answer to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it would have to be a legend, and I don't think they doing that either.
Nah, the legends ain't coming outside.
Nah, exactly. Yeah, they raising their kids and podcasting.
LeSean, let's talk about your transition. Obviously, you've done, major things on the field. 2-time Super Bowl champion, All-Pro. The list goes on. When did you know, or when did you start thinking about your transition into TV?
So when I came in the league, I was so like, I had like a chip on my shoulder, right? I feel like I wasn't drafted where I was supposed to be drafted at. You know what I mean? So I always like driving to be the best. So I started getting all these different accolades, and I started getting a lot of contracts. So, you go from making, I don't know, $400,000, $300,000 a week, right? And you spending, you see how it's moving. And then they go from 300, 400 grand to like, okay, 100 grand. All right, okay. All right, now we at 80,000 a week. Now we at 60. I'm like, whoa. So I started seeing that whole thing happen, and then I didn't like how, maybe, I don't know if it's ego or whatever, but my roles was changing. And I'm like, yo, man, you got me playing behind this dude. I'm better than him because he's younger than me. I'm better than this dude. And that's not how the league works. The league is a young man's sport.
Okay.
Unless you win in championships, they're not really keeping the older dude. So I was like, okay. So I said, well, I got to do something else. So I always thought that I would do good on TV because I like to talk. It's easy to me. You know what I mean? And I could relate to a lot of different players. So I knew I would do that. And then kind of got into the real estate game probably maybe year 9, just buying up small little properties, fixing them up, getting returns on them. And I started doing little apartments. You know what I mean? I see how that was going. So I'm like, damn, if I could just go to all the cities that I like to hang out at and start owning apartments, I could hang out and I could be making money.
Right.
So then I started doing big developments, ground up. So right now I just finished in my hometown, Harrisburg. It's like an hour from Philadelphia. A $17 million, 50-unit apartments. You know what I mean? So that's the new thing I'm doing on the side. Where now I don't have to work with a million different tenants. It's all brand new, so nothing should really be breaking. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everything is there. So, and I was getting a lot of hassles from doing the smaller things. People is broke. That, you know what I mean? They calling you.
Everybody got a plan.
Brand new with nice.
Everybody got a plan.
Yeah. So that's how I got to that market. And then after that, I started doing the podcast. Me and my brother Deshaun Jackson. You know what I mean? And it started getting bigger and better. So that's how I really transitioned. There's no real menu to tell you, yo, when you retire, this is what you do. That's why a lot of guys go broke, because you making $1 million, yearly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you playing a sport that's not really your job. You love it.
Right.
And then when you're done, there's nobody to say, yo, this is what you do. So I just had a good supporting cast around me, and that's kind of how I got to where I'm at today.
Yeah, because that's got to be tough. The average person probably retires at 65, 66, whatever. Professional athletes, some of y'all be retiring at 28.
Yeah.
Life is short, but life is long as fuck. And now it's all right, everything I've known for the last 28 years is done. Where do I go from here? And money can dry up quick. So I feel for a lot of professional athletes, especially NFL athletes, because y'all retire quicker than MLB, NBA, because it's more of a tough game. How do you feel that the politics are similar in NFL organizations and the TV world?
The politics, so there's a lot of times where dudes, man, they'll get on TV and they'll change who they are just to make the bosses happy or to, continue to get paid because they got a family, you know what I mean? So it's a tricky situation. Yo, you ain't being real, or I play with you. You ain't even act like that. But now I'm not a player no more, and I'm trying to remain employed and get my money. And I think also in football is it ain't always the best player that plays. You know what I mean? Like there's sometimes where you a coach, he'll keep a job for 30 years. And it's like, how does dude get it? He's not even that smart. His dad might have coached. He know that coach. He hires you.
Yeah.
Your relationships. Everybody's buddy. And I think sometimes you be so wrapped up in, the best player should win and play, and the best TV personality should play, or she should be on TV. It don't always happen like that. And I think the relationships is what really wins.
Yeah.
How do you feel about sports debate culture? Like you see a lot of these shows that come out, it's based around guys debating. It's something that we all do growing up in the barbershop, whose favorite player, whose favorite team. Now that they've been able to kind of carve this lane in the sports television world where it's all debate based. How do you feel about the debate culture on TV?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of dying down a little bit. I think the last real debates we had was like Skip and Shannon Sharp. You know what I mean? But I do like it because, nowadays, like the culture is now accepted in the corporate world. Right? Like, we talk about Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar's on everything. And if you listen to what he rap about, it ain't just going to college.
Right.
And everybody is whites, blacks, everybody's being acceptable to it. So now when you get into these conversations on TV, sometimes it may come off like it is in a barbershop, but it's authentic. And I think the best thing about TV now is with these different like platforms of like podcasts and all that is letting the people really see like, okay, I don't want the corporate take. Give me the real take. And now it's like you letting players really speak on it. Because back in the day, I had a chance to interview Kyrie Irving about this, and it was like, I'd rather give my real take and real feelings and thoughts to people that was in my seats, if it was football, basketball, whatever it may be, but stuff that we both can understand, compared to going to the old media and letting them tell my story, because they didn't really know.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna tell me what you think, how it is, and you never even really played. You never was in the locker room. You never let a player deliver that message because, he might have a better way of explaining to the viewers.
Yeah.
Because he played and et cetera. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I feel like
Absolutely.
the inception of First Take when it was Skip and Stephen A was damn near at the height of your career. Did you tune in and like, did that ever affect your mental watching that in the morning before going to practice or before going to a game?
Good question. So I was the type of dude, because my dad was kind of tough on me. So I always liked, hearing the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes love to hear all the good. I want to hear it. Oh, you think I'm not like that? Okay, bet. And to give you something to fuel the fire with, but sometimes though, I used to look at like certain people that would argue about me. So I'll give you an example. Like if some dudes you see on here, man, they 400 pounds, dog, and you telling me how LeBron ain't that good or ain't that I'm just looking like, how can you say that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it never really affected me. I remember my first lesson was, I remember when I got in the locker room, man, and we had Brian Westbrook, who was phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right? I was a rookie, and they was like, you letting Westbrook go for LeSean McCoy? Like, who's this dude? Like, he got a little, one of the reporters said I had a little boy body, right? So he don't know where I'm from. I said, when I go in this locker room, I'm going to take the paper and I'm going to let him have it.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm ready. It's like 6 o'clock. I can't wait to see him. It turned like 8 o'clock. The media come to the locker room. I go right to him. I never seen him before.
Yeah.
And then when I get to him, he got some thick-ass glasses, big-ass stomach.
Yeah.
I said, fam, I can't get mad at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what a real running back look like. So
Yeah.
that was my first lesson. So it's like, I never really let them dudes kind of like dictate who I am. But I think sometimes like when ex-players or certain dudes that really study the game would talk about me. Like they give Skip a hard time. This is what I will say about Skip. Everything Skip say, he believes it. Like he gonna do a million research on it. He's gonna, so you don't have to play sports to know it. But if you really dedicate and you research it, you gonna know about it. So that's why somebody like him, I respect what he say, because it might not be what I wanted to hear, but there's some truth to something he's saying.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because he's studying and he's really researching it.
Yeah, Skip probably still think Tebow is better than Lamar Jackson. I'm sure he's still down on that Tebow.
But his mind,
we're just waiting for Tebow, first ballot Hall of Fame.
Tebow wins. We got, you know what I'm saying? Like, he never have a talented quarterback debate with you because that's not. But somebody he wins, he finds he gonna believe that bullshit.
Yeah, he definitely gonna believe that.
Did you keep that in mind, like going into the podcast and TV, et cetera, to be a little bit more empathetic with athletes and maybe even if they're having a down year or like a few games? Do you keep that in the back of your mind because you know what it feels like when somebody else is critiquing you when you're mid-season?
See, now I struggle with the TV and podcast because I was good on TV so early that they got me a spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like I didn't have my real training, so when I see a cat that ain't that good, motherfucker ain't that good, he trash. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a player. So I didn't realize like I can't say how in the locker room was said. And the hard thing with me was like, I don't care what money you make. I don't, because nobody in the locker room care about that. How good are you?
Right.
So when I would say different things, I would have people's, cousins, family approach me, and they would be like, "Yo, why you?" I'm like, "Well, hold up, man. Why your cousin? What make your cousin good?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn how to say different things because sometimes, like, you could come off a certain way. Like, I'll give you an example. But one of the Chiefs, right? My last year was with them. And I played with a lot of they're good players. I played with a lot of them. I know them. And one of their teammates wasn't holding up his end of the bargain. So I'm calling him out on the pod, and then one of my main mans like, "Yo, Dan 25 or Shady, yo, Dan, get cutting some slack." Now my job is to keep it as real as possible.
Right.
But my relationship with you was like, you my man. I don't want to. So I say, look, man, I'm gonna try to be as fair. You get what I'm saying? So maybe my 100% opinion on this dude is that he ain't that good. Maybe I can say it in a different light where I'm being more respectful. That's the word. That's what more respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because sometimes
y'all
you
probably
can
deal with that too, though.
Oh no,
constantly,
100%. And I'm glad you went into that because there is a thing that you have to do when you're talking about either former teammates or colleagues and people that you have a real connection or relationship with. You don't want to be as or come across as harsh to guys that you really kick it with on a real life. In real life situations, as somebody that you're just watching the game. I never met this kid yet, but he got a lot of upside to him. So you might be a little harsh on him versus the guy that you was actually, in the trenches with, and he's still playing. You don't want to go at him because that's my man for real, like in real life. It's kind of hard to keep it real. But you got to find a way to be objective, be honest. But you have to find that little gray area. Was like, that's my man. I ain't gonna go too hard on him.
But see, the thing is, what I be telling dudes, I'm like, yo, like, this is my job now. You know what I mean? So, I had a problem with I ain't gonna say a problem, but James Harden and his homies had an issue with something I said. And I said, yo, man, like, I know you don't know me, I don't know you. We know a lot of the same people, so they'll tell you how I get down. But it's like, yo, if you play better, I'll talk about you better.
Right.
So we said, yo, if you ask me something about James Harden, I say, yo, one of the greatest talents we've ever seen. But if we talking about like today, I say, well, bro, it's documented that every time it's like a elimination game or game online, like you just don't even deliver.
You disappear.
What do you want me to say about you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
think about that. What I'm saying though.
Yeah. You got to be honest in that moment.
But it's like, what?
It's a notorious thing.
Every time I'm like, yo, 30 points, you can't stop. And they don't want.
But you can't keep disappearing in the playoffs and don't think that we're not going to say you keep disappearing in the playoffs. Yeah.
And that's interesting. Let me ask you, because we deal more in the music world and we've been approached by artists, even that we consider associates or friends. Artists are sensitive. Like that just comes with the territory. Do you think athletes are just as sensitive?
Oh my God, yeah.
Because we again, this is Don't Know Ball. We don't talk sports that much. We talk music. And we, for the last 10 years, have had to deal with friends, associates, artists all the time being super sensitive. When we weren't even being disrespectful, called anybody out their name. Art is meant to be critiqued. So we critiqued it. That's it. But I always kind of put that sensitivity just to artists. I never even thought that athletes could be that sensitive based off.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think athletes are more sensitive. I think we have a longer, we're successful longer. Let me break it down. So most athletes, they've been good since they've been 5 years old.
Yeah.
Right. They've been the favorites. Okay, they get to high school, they nice still. Then they go to college.
Local stars, yeah.
Well, I feel like the rappers that I know, they may be rapping, then somehow somebody look out for them, and then they get a chance, then they blow. But ball players, they've been good forever, though.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought of that.
You know what I mean? And it means, we got egos.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, everything's competitive in sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we are super sensitive. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you should be, because even in rap, I feel like a player that's not that good in the NFL, yo, he used to be the man somewhere.
Yeah.
He go back to his city, he the man. Like, you can't tell.
Yeah.
You go back to his college, he was the shit.
Yeah.
Now you get to the pros, it's like, yeah, he the third string, man. Watch out. Like,
Yeah.
so we got egos. We
Yeah.
stay sensitive. Even to this day, there'll be times where, you know, I'll meet somebody or whatever, and they'll give me respect because of stuff I did in the field, but it'd be real dry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, he's
You might have said something, yeah.
So I'll ask, I say, yo, man, I said, we got an issue? Like, I offended you or something like that? You know what I mean? Because I want to get out the way because most people that rock with me, they like me. I got that type of person, like, you can rock with me.
Yeah.
So what we got a problem about, dog?
Right.
And back to that sensitivity and back to the debate pundit shows, when you were playing, was it ever awkward in the locker room when one of your teammates got cooked on first take? And it's just the elephant in the room, no one's saying shit, but everybody saw all the critiques and you already know he's feeling away. Is that a thing in the locker room? Do y'all talk about what's going on with ESPN, Fox, etc.?
No. We like, them people don't have no effect over the team. We a team, you know what I mean? It's us against them. So yeah, you had a bad game, but you my man, you my brother. Like, we don't care what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But there's times where I've had one time where one of my teammates was you know, he got caught calling blacks niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Cooper, remember that situation?
Yeah.
And that was the only awkward time. I was like, yo, like, because this is my man for real.
Yeah.
I know I heard what he said. I only believe that he made us mad, but it's like, you did say that, and like, it's the league is full of blacks. I mean, dog, we everywhere.
Right.
So that was real awkward.
What was that conversation like with him though in the locker room?
Yeah, so what they did was they kept him away from all of us. So we really couldn't like holler at him, you know what I mean? But then we had, you know, Vick is everybody's OG.
Yeah.
And Vick was like, he said, he had a team meeting. He said, look, man, what he did was wrong. And I ain't for that shit either. Mm-hmm. He said, but I've done a lot of things that I'm sorry for. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That I did that I didn't really mean to do. And he was like, you know, we all have done stuff or said things behind closed doors that ain't right. And when he kind of did all that, because it's who he is and the respect that we gave him, we was like, well, shit, we going to give him a pass. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but it was awkward because now he get a pass, you got to block for him.
Mm.
Or win the game, right? And you know, now every game we play, everybody's trying to do something dirty to him. And it's like, I get why they want to hurt him, but it's like, yo, this is our man.
Yeah.
Now that was real awkward.
Wow.
Damn,
yeah, that's tough.
That.
I got a block for you and you just said what you just said. It's like,
yeah, that was tough. I don't like,
everyone
playing certain games and you know, because football dirty. They punch under the pile, grab somebody's nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, they face fans trying to rip their eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to protect him because he's my man.
Right.
And I do love to hear that about Michael Vick because he always got the rap that he was, especially in Philly, that he wasn't a good leader and he could, like, that's great to even hear that Vick was taking on that type of role. Like, what was his years like? With Michael Vick, to me, is like a superhero. Like, what was it like even being in the same locker room with him?
Yo, look, I got in the league at 20 years old. I was the youngest player in the league. So Mike Vick, he did his little bit. He came home, right? Mm-hmm. And he hit the Eagles. And I remember he walking into the facility, whatever. And I say, yo, what's up, yo? Shady Mooker, what's up? Yeah, what's up? What's good? All right. And then he walked out. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I didn't let him see that. I remember just talked to all my homies like, yo, dog, I just shook Michael Vick's hand like.
Yeah. Well, you can't say yo, dog, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, yeah, Vick he was special. He was like, you know, the thing with Vick is, he don't even understand how big he is. Like, he don't really see who we...
Icon.
We in the club, you got Air Force in a headband. We like, yo, you Mike Vick, you don't even get it. Super humble.
You don't even know who you are. Like, do you know who you are?
Yeah, like take them jeans off, put some real Vick.
Yeah.
He was super humble, bro. One of the best teammates. He's one of the best. He's better person he is as a player, bro. Vick is different.
What was that time like for you in Philly? Because I mean, the city of Philadelphia to this day, you know, they love you. Your time in Philly, what you did for the Eagles is legendary. What was it like that energy during your time in Philadelphia, like just the fans, the city, the team, the organization? What was that time like for you?
Oh man, Philly was special. You know, it really helped me grow to be like a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was 20 years old. Oh man, that's such a big city. You don't know what they expect. The fans was great.
Big sports
The fans
town.
always keep you honest. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got inducted to the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Congrats on
this
that.
year. Yep. And just saying like how the fans embrace me, man. It's just love. And I feel like that's the closest thing to having like a real family in the NFL. Because the NFL is always like in and out. Right, revolving door. Guys come in, guys come out. But the Eagles fan base and the ownership and all that, like they really make you feel like a real family. Like there's times where I talk to the owner all the time. You know what I mean? I'm hollering at the players, like trying to get Saquon to come to Philly. Like I was trying to do that, trying to help out. And most teams don't really do that. They don't really even care. You know what I mean? So that was special, man. Playing with Deshaun and Jeremy Maclin and all them dudes. You know, we still tight to this day. So I love my time at Philly, you know, and the fan base. So
and shout out to Deshaun. He got the head coaching at Delaware State, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Deshaun Jackson on that,
love
man.
Del State for other reasons.
Yeah, classic.
All right. Where do you rank the Philly sports fan base across the board? Like, I think, of course, Oakland Raiders, you know, before they went to Vegas, that was always the stereotype. I don't know if there's a bigger group of animals than the Philadelphia Eagles fan base. I have friends that are Eagles fans. They're great people individually, but when they get together, they're the worst group of human beings I've ever seen in my life. You know, there's a riot police section at the Eagle Stadium. That's only in Philly. That's not in any other stadium. There's no riot police.
Stadium they had a jail in there.
Yes. No, there's a jail in the stadium.
Yeah. No, I would rank Philly fans probably at one.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close at all.
They travel. We ain't for no bull crap. You know what I mean? And I like them because you know why? If the team playing bad, they're gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? Like we paying money to be watching these games, like, and they let you know that. And I love them for that because they honest. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't for the bull crap. Don't be coming up here with your little cowboy jersey on, talk the shit.
Yeah.
You might not leave with your jersey on. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
a fact. Yeah. What was the music like in the locker room with y'all? Because I mean, you talking about Deshaun Jackson, obviously from the West Coast, you being from PA, Vick being from Virginia. Like, what was the music like? Like, what was y'all listening to in the locker room?
So my personality is like I'm cool with everybody. You know what I mean? Country boys, white boys, black dudes, everybody. So I was running the music for real. And everything's up north for me. Like I was putting them boys on Dipset. I put them boys on everything. G-Unit, this one G-Unit was going crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously Hove, Nas. I had that Biggie, I had all that shit playing. But DJ, you know what? He put me on Nipsey.
Okay.
I remember the first time I said, yo, he ain't really lyrical like I like. But he was good.
A lot of style.
Like, he was teaching in his own way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I remember he's put me on Nipsey. This before he was, this when he was selling the CDs out the car or something like that. I remember that.
The Crenshaw era.
Yeah, so DJ always had the West Coast sound. I remember when him and Meek Mills had the little rap battle.
Yeah.
I said, bruh, listen. Y'all about to come here and talk about all this. That shit ain't gonna win. Don't bet. Because Meek gonna have, I didn't know who Lil Stoop was at the time.
Yeah.
I said, he gonna have somebody in there that can rap.
Yeah.
If we battling, we gonna be. And sure enough, his ass lost. I told him that.
Yeah.
Because you were in Philly when the Meek and like Game beef and that whole thing was happening, right?
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with Meek since you was in Philly? And obviously being a native of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Nah, man, Meek was cool. You know, we used to gamble, hang out, you know what I'm saying, party and all that. I just seen him at the Super Bowl, we was hanging out. That's one thing about Philly, though. All like from the ball players to like the rappers, we all are one. That's one thing I did like about Philly. Yeah, but Meek was cool dude.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl this past season. It took one of our guys that we had, our beloved Saquon Barkley, had to go down the turnpike and turn it up down there in Philly. I'm happy for him. We happy that he got a ring.
That's real. That's real.
No,
absolutely happy for Saquon.
As a Giant fan, I hate y'all, but I was so happy for Saquon.
So happy
he deserved it because we did him so fucking dirty.
Absolutely. Now, in watching Saquon Barkley, what are some similarities you see in you and Saquon, and what are some of the differences in the style between you and Saquon?
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people be trying to like say that. I don't really see a lot of similarities because I think our games are different. So me and him, we have a golf event we do every year. Saquon a lot bigger than me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think when people see him make moves and all that, and they look at my moves, they're like, yo, them guys are shifty, but like he a lot bigger than I am. You know, and I guess the part you would say we are similar is like we was real nice and we can make dudes miss and make highlights. But I think we're really different. I think he got his own style, and his style's obviously working.
Yeah.
I think he's more God gifted than I am. You know, I come in at, I don't know what, 6 foot, like 207. I ain't never really lift weights. I never was into that. Where he's a dude that like, he's always been a lifter. He's always been working hard in the gym. Like I didn't really do none of that. And I think the way we played was good because we both was like explosive and got busy. But we just different. I think our styles is a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely the shiftiness once he got to the Giants, I think it emulated you for sure. But because he's stocky, I see what you're saying. But y'all definitely do have a same shift as far as how y'all move in between gaps and how y'all go. Like, yeah, I see why people say it. Y'all just have different body types. Pause.
And then like when me and him talk, like we laugh about it, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say about him that I didn't know he had, this from not know, like I knew him and we would talk, but it wasn't like when he came to Philly where I can really holler at him and really be around him. I didn't know he was that competitive, you know. Like watch him at Penn State, he looked talented. Watch him at the Giants, like, you know. But I didn't know how competitive he was. I'm a real competitor. Like I hate to lose in anything. And
I'll tell you how competitive he is. He beat Maul in karaoke.
I was happy to see that.
He's so competitive, he beat Maul in karaoke at a birthday party. That's a fact.
For real?
Yeah, no, it's a fact.
No, he did not. He sang at karaoke. I didn't. It wasn't no competition.
I know, because it was a competition.
It wasn't no
he
competition.
Smoked everybody.
I did not sing at all.
He saw that karaoke mic and said, I'm smoking everybody, and then Maul...
He did his thing.
Maul said, I don't even want to go on stage.
Like, to see him showing, because we golf, and like I don't really golf like that, but I talk a lot of shit. So my team play his team. It's like his college team, my college team, and we played, and we won. And, you know, I'm talking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could see how, I said, oh, he cares. Yeah. That was good to see, though, because now, if you care about little golf, you don't care about.
Yeah.
And he plays like that. So I like to see that.
You went up to Buffalo, so at minimum, twice a season you saw Bill Belichick. I have to ask, you know, the question that's on everyone's mind, football related. Did he always give sugar daddy vibes?
You know what? No, you know what I will say about Bill, though? He been so angry and mad and trying to like win everything and just like now he's been getting his ass beat and now he's like, all right, that winning stuff is over. Let me enjoy life. I got money, I got status.
Yeah.
Let me give me a little 25. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna do yoga on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, taking his shirt off and all that. Like, come on.
He was wearing hoodies that were cut off. Yeah, no, I'm happy Bill is finally embracing.
She gave Bill some style.
What it is, but yeah, he just never.
Bill though, I don't really rock with Bill like that because, like, you had Brady, dog. You know how blessed that is to have Brady.
Yeah. And
you winning championships and you still not happy with Brady.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what we talking about? Teams would die to have Brady.
That's a fact. Now, speaking of Brady,
treat him like he ain't nothing. Like what?
Yeah. Speaking of Brady, you played. Damn, now that I'm thinking about it, you played with Michael Vick. You played with Pat Mahomes,
Brady.
Now with those
and Josh Allen.
And Josh Allen. Yeah. God damn. Now with those four quarterbacks, right? If you had them on the draft board right now in front of you, Vick, Brady, no accolades, nothing. You just
Donovan McNabb. I played with Donovan McNabb. He was nice.
God.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was at the end of that.
Now real quick, I know what you're about to ask real quick. The last time I did this, and this when Josh was his second year, so he won't even. So y'all didn't even know who Josh Allen really was. I did. I knew how good he was.
Yeah.
He said he was mad at me. I'm like, yo, damn, dog.
Like,
yeah. I called you twice. You texted me?
Yeah. He don't want to talk to you.
He said, yeah, man. I seen your quarterback list.
Yeah.
So you talk about players being sensitive?
Yeah.
He on his second year. He wasn't even a star yet. He was like, yo, you didn't have me as the elite dude. Like, he was mad.
You had me over Brady?
You didn't have him over Brady?
Right. So, all right, so what's the question?
You didn't have me over Michael Vick, who had 1,000 yards rushing in one season? So
in all of those quarterbacks you played with, who is the guy that if you just saw them play, the no accolades, just saw them on the field working out, throwing the ball, who is the one you'd be like, I want him to be my quarterback. I want to run for him.
All right, but hold on real quick. Because, like, that's that question is like, so you saying if everybody's out here in the yard, just throwing the ball, running
Just
and
throwing. Just running and throwing.
I mean, number one, gotta be
See,
there.
but that's hard because, like, football ain't just that.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I'm gonna answer your question. Then I'm gonna put it in a scenario where, like, it makes more sense for me.
Okay.
All right. So I probably would take Josh Allen on all them dudes.
Really?
If you just talk, if your question is, yo, if you in a park,
Yeah.
there's dogs and cats running around, and we got a football field,
Yeah.
and we was just throwing the ball, running and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All right.
Josh by
No, but
by a long
I have to give pushback. The way Patrick Mahomes has actually changed the quarterback position in the way he plays schoolyard ball in the highest level of the NFL.
Pat different.
If you just
What?
run around in a park, I don't know if anyone besides Pat Mahomes might be number one period in NFL
right.
history for backyard football.
So Pat's the best quarterback today for sure. And I think Pat's the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you just talking about that, you just said with a t-shirt on and just throwing the ball around, running around.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, if he raced Michael Vick will win. It's going to be a close race than what people think.
Okay.
God damn, okay.
When they all stand next to each other, though, Josh going to look way bigger than all these dudes.
Okay.
All right. He'll run you over if you're in his way. He might make you miss if you're in his way. He tough as nails. And then we're going to talk about who had the strongest arm. Now, he probably got the strongest arm. We probably out of him and Pat. I remember when I went to Kansas City, we was talking to Pat about just, quarterbacks and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an instigator, so I might have brought it up to him. And he was like, well, I probably would never do like a throw off with Josh because it's a lose-lose. Because it's like, yo, I'm supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh got a crazy arm, so it'll be close either way you cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's one part of it. Now, we just said, yo, I'm on a football team, and the intelligence, the winning, all that stuff what quarterbacks do matters.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first dude off the table is Tom, because he can't run a lick, and he's better than everybody. He's smarter than everybody. He knows what to do, and he's a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
That mother right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go with Tom, and then I would probably go with Pat second, and then I would go Allen third, and then fourth would be probably Vick.
Okay. Damn, I would have thought Vick would have been up higher, like on the list, because I mean, just remember Michael Vick playing, obviously a great runner, great athlete, but I think Vick's arm was really underrated for a lot of years.
True.
Hell yeah.
That's true.
For a lot of years, I think Michael Vick as a passer was very underrated because coming in, it was like, this guy, he breaks the pocket, but he can go and get you a first down, get you a touchdown. But then when when in his later years, it's like, okay, I can't really just get out this pocket and start running.
I think he was better with the Eagles. Like,
I was about to say, in Philly, I think he proved that point way more than he did in Atlanta.
Well, he had Deshaun out there running every fucking going deep every play. Like, throw that shit, Deshaun going to get it.
Because I always want to hear like people's perspectives, not ball players. So you tell me you would take Mike over who though? Because you said you'd be higher.
If I'm looking at that, if I had those four, I'm thinking I probably would either go Mike Vick or Pat Mahomes first. One of those two.
I would go Pat, Mike, Josh Allen, Brady. As far as in the park, schoolyard football.
In the park. In the park.
Yeah, no, of all time, and Brady is.
I'm sorry, I did the rankings on the football part. That's why I said.
On football, first. I mean Brady is first to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, then that's my bad. Okay, so we say in the park.
Yeah.
Josh would be first in the park. Then I'm going with Mahomes, then Vick, then Brady.
Okay.
Because Mahomes, like you said, Mahomes be looking left, he'll throw that thing right, and it'd be accurate.
Yeah.
And he's more elusive than what people think.
Yeah.
They see his stomach, they see how he talk, they like, oh, he ain't really no athlete. Pat an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he was just the way he'd be doing the shovel passes for 30 yards is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like
Pat, and he's a competitor. I watched this time we had a tackle. I won't even say his name, but he was really good. And every day of the week he kept checking on, like, yo, is he gonna play? Is he gonna play? Every day.
Yeah.
Well, we get to the last day, it's Friday. If you really don't make the injury report, then you won't play. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Pat walking that shit, he said, yo, is he playing? The doctors and the players started like mumbling, like kind of, give me some jumbo.
Yeah.
Saying a lot, but not saying nothing.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna win with him or without him. Yeah, and he won.
That's as a
look,
running.
real quick, TV don't show you that part though, right?
Yeah,
of course
He's
not.
a dog.
Yeah.
As a running back, being with those legendary quarterbacks, do you think that was an advantage or disadvantage? As far as maybe the defense was focused more on the pass, so giving the ball to you was easier, or the fact that, hey, we're just focusing on the passing game?
Yeah. So I'll say this though. I wasn't really blessed to play them dudes in my prime. So I played with Pat and Tom at the last 2 years of my career, right? And then when I played with Josh, he was a rookie. So like he was talented, but he wasn't good.
They still gave him some respect though.
And then when I played with Mike, the Mike thing was weird because Mike was good, but like it should have ran through me. Because I was the one that was making all first team all pros. They weren't doing that. They was good though, but they weren't doing that.
Right.
And we would throw the ball so much where now you might get a pick or two or a fumble or, you know what I mean? Because we throwing it so much.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at how they use Lamar and Jackson, they ran the ball a lot with Derrick Henry and they let Lamar run a little bit. But he ain't throwing it like 30 sometimes a game.
Right.
We was throwing the ball with Mike like it was Peyton Manning or
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not a diss to him, but it's like his game is he can throw the ball, but he can run too. Like, why are we gonna make him do all that throwing?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, did you see a difference with Andy Reid in Philly versus KC? Like, what was the difference there?
So he didn't call plays in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? He just looked over everything. Where he called plays in Kansas City. I remember telling him like, yo, all these exotic plays you got, why you ain't call us when I was there? So he didn't really call plays.
Yeah.
But then again, like Mike's skill set different from Pat's.
Yeah.
And then sometimes being honest, like if Pat's throwing it 38, 40 times, like he might get a pick because he'll throw some picks too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to be a certain type of talent to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you throwing like bubble screens or safe passes. Peyton Manning's and Tom, they can do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now we just had the NFL draft, and obviously the talk of the night was Shador sliding to the 5th round. As somebody that's obviously been in that position yourself, what was your thoughts in that moment, like as far as just being a player, like going back to that moment of you being on the board and waiting to hear your name called? Like, number one, did you think Shador would slide that far down in the draft?
Come on now.
And number two, do you think it's more a political thing, or maybe as a player? I'm just asking the players. Do you feel like you seen something in Shador where he's not quite ready, or what y'all think he is yet?
Yo, man, like, and we could do this, but y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. That's why you asked the question. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
That was crazy, bro. Then, like, now you got a player on your team that you took in the 3rd round, a quarterback.
Yeah.
That everybody know you're not even good at Shador. He in the 5th round. Like, so if let's say he wasn't as good as you all thought he was, and maybe he thought he's better than what he is. His dad's Dion, so everybody in the household gonna feel like they better than because that's what Dion installs in his kids. Like, you are the shit, which is not wrong with that.
Right.
Well, y'all telling me a 5th round draft pick, yo?
Right.
So check this out. So I've been playing ball a long time. I've never heard a coach or franchise come out and say, well, we got a 3rd round draft pick we drafted. We got a 5th round draft pick. We got an old ass quarterback in Joe Flacco, who's like 40. He's like older than all of us on this call or the Zoom, right? And then you got a young quarterback that struggled in his career, but he made some splashes in Philadelphia. But in Pittsburgh, he wasn't that good. Okay. They said, you know what we're gonna do? They told the whole world this, the whole, the media, that we're gonna split the reps from the 1st team and the 2nd team. Now, since I'm been playing, it don't happen like that.
Okay.
The starter gets the number 1 reps. The backup gets the number 2 reps. The 3rd and 5th round draft pick, that's in football, that's nothing. That's like you 5th rounder, that's nothing, You won't let the 5th rounder get some 2nd team reps and the 1st team reps. Normally they go with the 4th string and 3rd string.
Right.
So that lets you know that everybody in this room we got are eagle for real. And that he could potentially start because he's a 5th rounder. He shouldn't even be taking no number 1 reps.
Right.
So y'all did all that bullshit with the draft
Mm-hmm.
To have your 5th round draft pick now be taking second team reps and first team reps?
Right.
Now tell me how that makes sense.
Right.
What that was listen, got this young black kid who don't need the pros.
Right.
Let's calm him down a little bit. He's a little bit too cocky.
An ego check.
Yeah.
Ego check. I didn't like that shit.
Yeah, I thought that it was crazy only because when you start looking around and look at all the analysts and where they had him and look at all the mock drafts, like I think the lowest I saw was like they had him like late 1st, early 2nd. But now when you get to 3rd, 4th, everybody's like, okay, clearly this isn't, they going at Coach Prime. They don't like it's politics, things like that. Even the president, even Donald Trump chimed in on that and was like people are just stupid. There's no way his dad is a great player, DNA, he's a champion, he's a street smart, and all these things Donald Trump was saying. He was like, there's no way that Shador Sanders should be a 5th round draft pick.
Bro, none.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Before we get out of here, top 5 Philly rappers of all time.
Ooh.
Top 5?
Top 5.
I'm gonna go damn, the hard part is because I'm a Meek fan. I love Meek though. I guess it'll be cool too, but I love Siegel. That's a tough one, yo. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with
Philly has a lot of spitters.
A lot of rappers in Philly.
I know, but I'm just talking about that. So I guess number 1, I will go. I'm gonna go Meek Mills.
Okay.
All right. You know, him and Siegel's a tough one though. I ain't gonna. That's a tough one for me. This for me, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Bean 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Cassidy 3rd.
Okay.
Not mad at that.
I love Cass. Like, you talking about battle rap, he's the first one throwing on.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's 3, 4, I'm gonna go, this is gonna fuck you up a little bit, but I'm gonna go Eve, yo.
I'm not mad at that at all.
I'm not mad at that.
I was just having an Eve conversation.
I'm not mad at that.
Eve has my favorite voice of a female rapper, if that makes sense. Just her voice, to me, is the best female rap voice I've ever heard. Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that at all.
Go to New York, but she hold her own.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go 5th. I guess I'm biased because I like some of the people I like. You know, you can go Free, but I'm gonna go Young Chris.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Definitely not mad at that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Definitely not mad at that. I love when him and Ryder put out they tape. Yeah. One of my favorite tapes.
Chris nice.
Chris
he gonna be nice forever. He gonna always be an elite rapper. I love Young Chris.
Hey, real quick, yeah, because you're outsiders. Was you that had Beanie first over me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bean's one of my favorite rappers ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Becoming, The Reason, The Truth. Like, those albums is just like
I know.
Timing too. With my age, like Beans was the one for me.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, I would even put on some like rap nerdy shit. Black Thought has to be in that conversation.
Black Thought.
Yeah, like
right.
even close to like a number. Like, you could make a case that he would be the number 1 rapper.
Yeah.
Rapper from Philly.
Yeah, if we're talking just technically rapping.
Yeah, but I mean, I would put Beans. I put Beans 1, Black Thought 2, 3. I'd probably put, this is my personal shit, Freeway.
Free was nice too.
Meek would be 4.
Ooh.
5. It's funny you said Young Chris, because that
Young Chris
he's kind of like
5 in Philly.
He's right there.
He gotta be. There's no doubt about it.
I'd probably put Chris right there too.
Yeah.
I'd actually, as far as rapping, I'd probably prefer Chris over Cassidy, but I feel like that's disrespectful because that I'm a Hustler album, like, it's kind of fucked up to not put Cassidy in the top 5.
And I be thinking also too, like I like the bars. I'm a bar dude, but also like when you leave Philadelphia and you go to Houston or you go to wherever, like some people represent the city the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Cass, he was one of them dudes that, yo, my Philly shield, people gonna know Philly, you know, because stuff I done did. So I think about all that, like the production part and the actual bars, you know.
Well, y'all are disrespectful because no one brought up Will Smith.
Listen, man. I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Go. Where you gotta put it? Go.
I'm just saying, like, y'all are disrespectful.
You know what though? I'm gonna text Gilly this shit. Gilly gonna be like, yo, why did I make that?
Yeah,
list?
Gilly definitely gonna be like, why he ain't top
I don't
five?
put no disrespect on Gilly's name, because especially we going back to my era with Beans. Like Gilly's mixtapes was our shit in high school. Like Gilly is definitely in that conversation. I wouldn't even be mad with the young Chris versus Gilly. Gilly is up there. I don't want to disrespect Gilly. Gilly can rap.
I go real. Like if you going Gilly, I'm going Dutch and Spade. Like I go into that type of. I go into that. Like I go Oskino. You know what I'm saying? I go into like that type of Philly.
Enes, no.
Hell yeah, but Enes right now is going crazy. He put out a freestyle every other week. He going crazy, but he don't have. It's the music.
He don't have the songs.
The songs.
But Enes for sure is up there.
Enes, he deserves a shout out, bro.
No,
Enes,
definitely. Enes still. He's still rapping. He's still going crazy. Absolutely.
I mean, they never really rep Philly like that, but Corrupt and Left Eye, I feel like need to be somewhat in a conversation.
A lot of people don't even know Corrupt.
Now Corrupt don't never say Philly.
Nah, he do.
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah, he let people know. Yeah, he let people know he from Philly for sure.
But Left Eye, I think, needs to be in that conversation as well. Yeah, even though she, Atlanta with TLC shit, but she's from Philly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
All right, Shady, before we let you go, what is your prediction this year for the Super Bowl? Who's taking it all this year?
The Eagles.
Well, next year.
Yeah. Well, led by y'all man from New York, Saquon, back at it.
You think they're going to do it again, go back to back?
Yeah. That same team.
I don't know, man. KC gonna be. I think KC gonna be right there. Buffalo gonna be right there again.
I think either KC or Buffalo they'll play, but the Eagle team too good, bro.
What's wrong in Buffalo? Like, what's going on? Why has Buffalo not made it there?
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. You play the juggernauts every year.
Yeah.
If the Bills play in the NFC, they were at the Super Bowl every year, like the Chiefs.
Right.
It's hard to beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Andy Reid, the best coach in football of all time, bro.
Yeah,
it's tough.
You got him over, but you got him over Bill.
Yeah. Now look,
you can't say that.
Let me tell you. All right, let me break this shit down.
Andy Reid,
now, that's some good football for y'all, all right?
Okay.
So like people be conditioned. You know what I mean? Like I don't care how great any player does. Nobody will be better than MJ. That's how people look at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is what it is. Belichick got that same thing. When Belichick didn't have Brady, he was trash.
Mm-hmm.
People only act like he's only coach for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. That's not true. He had other coaching jobs.
Mm-hmm. Wait, no. I'm giving pushback because he was a defensive coordinator in Cleveland. He was with the Giants as some other random assistant. When Bledsoe went down, let's not act like the Patriots was ass. Like Belichick was there for what, 2 years? A year and 3 games before Brady was there and took a backup and did that. Like, let's not, and never had good personnel until Randy Moss showed up.
So this is what I'm gonna do for you, right? Because I like you giving pushback. I like that. I tell my son that. I like that shit.
Yeah. Don't call me your son.
So I'm gonna give you some homework. Right? So when we leave this interview, right, I'm gonna get your info. We're gonna talk again. So he was a head coach before he got to the Patriots. That's some homework for you to look at. And when you look at that homework, he wasn't a winner. He was a loser there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then when you get to the Patriots, right? Before you had Tom Brady and after you had Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
You're not even 500 winning coach.
That team was ass though.
And look. Last thing. Soon Brady leaves, right? Mm-hmm. You limp your way to the playoffs. You get smoked by 35 points to a team you play twice a year. And then after that, you look like one of the worst teams in football. So with Andy Reid, no matter where you drop him at, no matter who his quarterback is, he always going to be a good coach. We always going to win. Before he got to the Chiefs, they won 3 games, bro.
Yeah.
Same motherfucking team. Same team.
Yeah.
Then the next year, they go to the playoffs, and now the Chiefs is what they are. The Eagles, before he got to the Eagles, they was trash. Mm-hmm. First year, he went 5-5. He won 5 games, 5-11. The year after that, 11-5, playoffs. So I just hate when we compare them dudes. And the last thing is last thing. So
I didn't know it was going to be the Bill Belichick
Bill's a
defender.
defensive dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Andy Reid's an offensive quarterback type of dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I can develop players. I think Patrick Mahomes was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I personally don't think that Pat would be that without Andy. I think he'll be really, really good. I don't think he'll be that.
Right.
Everywhere Andy Reid goes, the quarterback is going to be good.
Okay.
This is what it is. I can't say the same for Bill. Like, what the... Bill gets credit for Tom, and he a quarterback, and you a defensive coach.
Okay. After Deflategate, how many games was Brady suspended? They went undefeated.
Yeah.
And then made homie's career who went to the 49ers. What's his name?
Garoppolo?
Yeah.
Garoppolo, yeah.
He's trash too. What about him?
No, exactly. And Bill, he went undefeated with Bill after Deflategate when Brady got suspended.
Look, I mean, you talking about a couple games, I give you that. I can't say you.
And I'm not saying it's comparable to what Andy Reid has done in regards with other quarterbacks, but you can't discredit that Brady was really a nobody at that time.
How can you say that though? Yo,
I know what he did in Michigan. Don't get me wrong. They discredited him.
We talking about the pros. Everywhere Tom Brady goes, he wins. The dude left. The dude leaves.
No, I'm saying when Bledsoe went down, Bill was dealing with a nobody as a quarterback, had no experience in the NFL, and no real personnel.
So that's not true.
Bill and Brady have made Edelman a Hall of Famer. Like every last little fucking wide receiver they have made that way.
But this is my question to people. Like they say that. How does Bill get credit for them type of receivers? He's on defensive side. He don't have nothing to do with the offense. Come on. You think Bill Belichick has nothing to do with the offense? Nothing at all. What's he gonna do? You think he don't show up on Tuesdays and Wednesdays? He just be at home with his 24-year-old girlfriend? I'm saying he's not putting no plays in. He's not installing. He's not coaching the offense. All right. Like Andy Reid ain't going over there coaching the defense. He's the coach, the GM. I don't think he's the best drafter, but look what he's done. He's taken a bunch of kids from Rutgers and made them Hall of Fame DBs. Like, that's a coach. He put the best offensive coordinators that ended up being the Notre Dame head coach. Like, he has made stars out of coaches. Mike Vrabel. Like, he has made stars. All his coordinators, they be trash on offense.
Then why are they a dynasty?
Wait, let me tell you. Hold up. They coaching Tom Brady, dog. That's the truth. The coordinators he gets, right? They come there with the Patriots. They win all these games and all this shit. Soon they leave the Patriots and they leave Tom Brady as their quarterback. They go to all these different places and be trash. You know what they do? Then they come back to Tom and he save them. Tom left the Patriots and won a championship with the Bucks.
Okay.
Same roster, same team.
Yeah.
Same roster.
All I'm saying is,
dog, that was like the AAU version. That Bucks team was insane. What are we talking about? From running game to 3 receivers. Let's act like that Bucks team. Gronk came back. What are we talking about? He had an all-star team.
But see, you say that, you say that, but it's like, this is the elite players versus elite players. So nothing's just really easy. You know what I'm saying?
It's the NFL, of course.
It's really easy. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, the common factor we have here is that every time number 12 goes somewhere, they're gonna be winning.
That's a fact.
And then when he leaves, think about this though, the Patriots ain't never looked that bad. They look terrible without Tom. Am I tripping?
I think Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't even think it's fucking close. I'm just saying we cannot discredit Bill Belichick and everything he did with the rosters that he had. The Patriots were never a superstar team, ever. Even the running backs. If you go through the Patriots running backs for the last 20 years, those guys would have never been damn near Super Bowl MVPs without the system that was running in the Patriots.
This is what I don't get what you keep doing. You keep giving... So Bill's thing is defense, right? They say he's one of the most greatest masterminds on defense.
Right.
So if that's what he is, why do you keep giving him credit for offense?
He's lost. The head coach. So if they fail, he gets the credit. But if they win, he doesn't?
But I'm saying, how do you get the credit? Nobody
He's the head coach. No. You think he's legitimately not looking through any of that? Like, he's just be like, yo, whatever y'all want to do.
No, I mean, obviously he's the coach. But what I'm saying is, like, he ain't in that motherfucker like, yo, let's go over this offensive game plan to try. That's not what he does. That's not what he do. Mm-hmm. Most coaches,
I just cannot see him not looking over that shit.
He ain't doing all these crazy exotic defensive shit. That's not what they do. Mm-hmm. You got an offensive coach and a defense coach. You got the head coach. I see everything, but I ain't really. So real quick before you leave, because you keep saying the personnel and the team was not that good. Look at the fucking defense that the Patriots had with Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe. Because I don't think you know. Because they had a lot of
Teddy Bruschi was crazy. Vrabel was there at that time. I mean, obviously you get to the high towers and all that after.
Let's get to the better players. They were good. Let's get to the real good players.
Rodney Harrison was struggling in San Diego until he came to the Patriots. He was having a hard time.
Okay, keep going. That's crazy. But keep going. He's always been good.
Who was the free safety next to Rodney Harrison? He was nice.
Oh, Malord that went to the Bills. He was nice too.
He was. Yeah, but again,
because he's always been nice.
No, you talking about Lawyer Malloy?
Yeah,
he was a linebacker. Nice. Yeah, Lawyer Malloy, Willie McGinnis was struggling with the Patriots until Till Bill got there.
So everybody's struggling.
They was in a bad organization. I'm sorry. You think? No. Let's get into it. You think Pete Carroll was bringing Willie McGinnis to the promised land?
I think Willie was a really good player.
No,
bro.
Willie is a Hall of Famer. But he had a shitty system. Willie is a GOAT.
You had Ryan Seymour.
You had Ty Law.
Ty Law, yeah, Asante Samuel.
First
all
of all,
these dudes
all right, Asante Samuel. Yeah. Who was Asante Samuel before the Patriots and got that contract with y'all?
Bro, he was a beast. He's a rookie and beat one of the dudes out. He's been good his whole life. He's been as good his whole life in the pros.
But he wasn't some lottery pick that the Patriots got. They was already a damn near dynasty when they got Asante Samuel.
But hold up, so
the system was perfect for him.
Okay, bro.
You acting like Asante Samuel was a number 1 pick.
But I'm saying he was a baller. I don't care what.
No, he should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm saying the system with the Patriots, with Bill and what he did, gave him even the value to what got to the Eagles.
Asante balled out with the Patriots and balled with the Eagles.
Bill Belichick made Tyrone Poole a potential Hall of Famer. What are you talking about?
Tyrone Poole's not a potential Hall of Famer. That's not true.
I love Tyrone Poole, but
yo, but see, this crazy. Belichick, everybody's so fooled. You'll be surprised a lot of the Patriots players say about him, like, all that bullshit. Tom Brady's what made that thing go, bro. That's the simplest.
I mean, yeah. I'm arguing because it's fun right now.
Without
of course,
a doubt.
No, you in locker rooms, you know this shit way more than I do.
And I keep saying last thing real quick. So, like, out of all 32 teams, right? You telling me if Tom Brady went to the bad teams, so you got the average teams and the bad teams, do you think that he makes them teams better?
I think if he went to the 49ers with the 198th pick instead of the 199th pick, we're looking at something different. I think it was a perfect storm. Shit that happens in the universe with two people coming together.
I think Tom was going to be Tom no matter where he landed.
No, opportunity is something that happens. Like, let's say Bledsoe. Bledsoe, they had just read up his contract. He was going to be the franchise player. If he doesn't go down, Bledsoe still stays right there. We're not acting like they're putting $200 million into Drew Bledsoe after he did take them to the Super Bowl, lost against Brett Favre. At that point, they're going to let Tom Brady beat him out in practice? You think Robert Kraft is allowing that?
Yo,
he allowed Hernandez to murk people, and he still was like, yo, I'll show up at the court.
Yeah, they gave Tom Brady a $100 million deal, or they gave Bledsoe a $100 million deal, and Tom beat him out. He's better. He's better, bro. That's what happened. That's the truth.
Wait, Tom beat out who? Bledsoe went down. Bledsoe went down, came back for the Pittsburgh AFC Championship for like one quarter. Bledsoe balled out. But it was clear that Tom Brady was the one. If Bledsoe doesn't go down, that doesn't happen.
But that's football. We can't,
But I'm saying they're not allowing, as good as Brady could be at practice, that franchise and politics. What did you say? What did you say earlier? I'm going to do a callback. You said sometimes the best player doesn't play. It's politics. You give Bledsoe this much money. He has the smile. He's tall. He's marketable. You think they're investing all that money to let some kid from Michigan beat him out? No, that's not happening. He went down and he took the moment and became the greatest quarterback of all time. If he goes to the 49ers, I don't know if that same opportunity is happening.
So you saying, I get you saying, okay, I get credit for that. So you saying like Bill made it happen for him. Like he gave him a chance to play?
It was a perfect storm and energy of both of those people and that opportunity. And yeah, an amazing coach and the potential greatest quarterback of all time. And that moment happening. That's some real like you have to go on the moon and stars to figure out how that whole shit happened. I'm dead ass.
But the thing with Tom is like the Tom that everywhere he's been at, he's been really, really good.
Never met him.
He's been a winner, right?
Yeah, Michigan was a winner.
Everything I know about Tom is that he's been a winner. He's been really, really good as a quarterback. That's what y'all know.
That's a fact.
What I'm telling you is that we can't say the same for Belichick. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Nah, he's 75 with a 24-year-old girlfriend. That's a winner to me.
So look. He got to do his homework. I got to roll. This is homework.
LeSean, we appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Yep.
Love.